Look around you. The world you see is built on a story we all agreed to tell each other. A story of pieces of paper, numbers on a screen, and plastic cards. We call this story money. It dictates where we live, what we do from 9 to 5, the food on our table, and the dreams we dare to chase. It's the invisible current that moves our civilization. But what if that story ended? What if one day you woke up and the very concept of money had simply vanished? Not just from your wallet, but from human memory. What kind of world would we step into? Hello and welcome back to Deep Thoughts. Today we will think about what if the concept of money removed from our life and even from our mind. The first few days would be chaos. The gears of our global machine would grind to a halt. Supermarket shelves would empty. The stock market, a silent relic. That constant low hum of financial anxiety in the back of our minds would be replaced by a deafening silence. But after the initial shock, a new question would emerge. A question humanity hasn't had to ask on a global scale for centuries. What do we truly need? Without a price tag, our priorities would undergo a seismic shift. We wouldn't ask, what's the salary? We'd ask, what needs to be done? We wouldn't ask, how much does it cost? We'd ask, how do we build it? How do we grow it? The farmer growing food becomes the most vital person in the community. The engineer who can purify water is a hero. The teacher shaping young minds is a cornerstone of the future. Value is no longer measured in currency, but in contribution, in skill, in community well-being. This is where the deep thoughts begin. Without the need to sell our time, what would we do with it? The great pursuits of humanity, art, science, philosophy, exploration, were once driven by patronage or personal passion. In a world without money, they would be driven by pure, unadulterated curiosity. Imagine a world where you pursue a career not because it's lucrative, but because it's your calling. A musician composes for the joy of sharing sound, not for album sales. A researcher seeks a cure for a disease with no patent to file, only a problem to solve. You might spend your morning helping build a neighbor's house and your afternoon writing poetry. Work and life wouldn't be separate. They would merge into a single, meaningful existence, the act of living well and helping others do the same. The phrase, "I can't afford to," would lose its meaning. It would be replaced by, "I haven't learned how to," or "We haven't figured that out yet." The barrier shifts from financial to knowledge-based, and knowledge is meant to be shared. Now, let's be honest. Would this new world be a perfect utopia? Probably not. Our old demons, greed, power, status, wouldn't vanish overnight. They would simply find new forms. Without money, influence and reputation might become the new currency. People might hoard resources not for wealth, but for security or power. Conflicts over scarce resources would still exist, but here's the profound difference. These conflicts would be honest. They wouldn't be hidden behind complex financial instruments or corporate jargon. They would be human-scale problems requiring human-scale solutions. Dialogue, negotiation, and community governance. The greatest challenge and the greatest opportunity would be to build a society not on the principle of competition, but on the foundation of collaboration. We would have to learn, perhaps for the first time in history, to truly see each other not as rivals, but as partners in the grand project of human existence. So, what if money didn't exist? We may never know. It's a thought experiment, a mirror we hold up to our own civilization. But perhaps the real question this thought experiment leaves us with isn't about the world, but about ourselves. What if we started to live as if some things were beyond price? Our time, our passions, our connections, the air we breathe, the knowledge we share. You don't need to wait for money to disappear to start valuing the priceless, to build a life rich in experiences, not just possessions, to contribute to your community, to find your purpose beyond your paycheck. The most beautiful world without money is a world we can start building right now in the choices we make and the values we hold. In the end, the deepest currency has always been the human spirit. What do you think? What would you do in a world without money? Share your thoughts below.